varsity soccer between the Olympian Eagles and the Grossmont Foothillers. Hello again, everybody. I'm Greg GK Porter for GK Sports. We're at the game. Olympian is in the dark jerseys. This year, they changed the role as far as home and away. So the home teams are playing in their dark jerseys, and the away team is playing in the white jersey. So the Foothillers are going from right to left. They are 4-2, and I believe 1-4 is Olympian, trying to get their second victory. And shift colors for all you sailors out there, past and present. We're underway. Taylor Aguilera out to Gonzalez. Take it away. Sykes. And they now intercepted. Ian Foster, and then to Giovingo. Her pass is intercepted. Maddie Mayo. Mia Foster now. For Carly Kennedy, but she's not going to be able to get to it. Guthrie, and it's out of play. 0-0, just the start of the match here at Olympian High School. Proud to bring you the third game of the season for Grossmont High School, as far as we're concerned. As I mentioned, they're 4-2. They've lost their last two matches after going undefeated in the first four. Now on the move, that's Guthrie. Dispossessed. Victoria Ford, Jennifer Giovingo, 50-50 ball and take it away from her. But Ford gets a possession, lose their balance, and it'll be a foul. First foul of the match. And the first free kick for either team. Victoria Ford gets up a little slowly. Known to get nicked up from last season. And we have another player for the Eagles that is hurt. That's Erin Johnson. And she's coming off. Brianna Enriquez is into the match. The free kick now. Maddie Mayo. Mia Foster intercepted. The Foothillers lost to the Eagles last season when they played them in the tournament, the Barron's Cup tournament. That was like the first game of the Barron's Cup tournament. And the Eagles able to play a rather close match in the first half and then run away with it in the second half. That was not shown on GK Sports. This one goes out of play. But this time around, it is on GK Sports. You'll see the video portion in its entirety. We may be able to get the live stream going for the second half of the component of this event. But if we cannot, you will definitely want to see the full match. Just go to GK Sports, all in capital letters, and you'll see the entire match. Maddie Mayo now to the near side. Mayo looking for Kennedy. Kennedy has it and then gives it away. Over to Kaylee Lopez. Into the central. Alexa Gonzalez is taken away. But then getting it on her cleat is Guthrie. On the near side, it's out of play. Hopefully you saw our Coronado High School, the Coronado Holiday Cup youth matches. At an under 14 match. Interesting on Saturday. And an under 13 match. It's right there on this site right here, GK Sports. Click the subscribe and you'll be able to see all the digital content. Whatever age it is. Who knows? Maybe even have an adult league game here or there. Here's Carly Kennedy now. Kennedy cross midfield, but it's intercepted. The Eagles are there. But now they give it away. Mia Foster on an early ball. The super freshman. Sarah Lopez and her pass intercepted. Here's Lopez again now. Going to take it from distance. And no problem. Keeper. Elena Vertiz making the save. Your first shot for either team in this match. Driven to the near side from the center defender. And now Carly Kennedy has it. Sarah Lopez. Lopez makes the move. She can be very dangerous. Scored a goal against Rancho Bernardo. Into the central now. And a shot at just missed by Carly Kennedy. Goal kick now. Vertiz. Foster loses their balance and gives it away. Madeira. Rancho Bernardo. Couple of games. Well, it was Tuesday of last week. This being Monday of this week after those two games from last week. Able to come from behind twice in a match and win 3-2. And then another 3 goals put up against the Foothillers by Steel Canyon on Thursday. The 3-1 defeat. So they've given up 3 goals in their last 2 matches, trying to correct that tonight on a Monday night. Hopefully you had a great weekend. Wherever you are, we had a listener, or I should say somebody watching the video all the way from Afghanistan over the weekend. So let us know if you're watching these matches. Had somebody chime in on our Facebook page. Saw that they enjoyed the games over the weekend. Ball past the byline, it'll be a goal kick. In this 0-0 affair, girls high school varsity soccer tonight from Olympian High School out here in Eastlake, California, which is eastern Chula Vista, if you're not familiar. And Chula Vista, the South Bay of San Diego County. On the run, McNeil with it. Louder. Akins. Brianna Akins. Brianka, I should say. The header into the space. Danger time now for the Foothillers, and the keeper is collided with. And it'll be a foul. Ashlyn Dean got injured last season, and it changed the whole nature of what they were trying to do towards the end of the season against Helix. Or correction, that was not against Helix. It was towards the end of the season. It's a free kick. Undoubtedly a foul, but as a striker, you have to be careful. In some circumstances, you can get a card for that. Two fouls now for the Eagles. And the throw in. The near side, the Eagles. Here's a shot or a pass, and it's a put into the back of the net. No goal Go, 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 goal! Maya Sykes on a beautiful service, that time to her teammate, Kaylee Lopez, and it is 1-0, the Eagles lead. That was the first shot of the match, and Ashlyn Dean, who got injured, may have to come out of the match, as it's looking like I had word that Jamie Ganello was not going to be able to play, so now this could be really troublesome for the Foothillers, and Maddie Mayo looks like she's going to have to play keeper now. Did not see that last season at all. It was either, in fact, the games that we've done, Jamie Ganello and Ashlyn Dean have been switching off back and forth as far as the keeper duties are concerned. So for the first time this season, Maddie Mayo will come in and play keeper. And we get it started here at Olympian High School. 50-50 ball. This field turf is really worn over here at Olympian High School, and that might have played a part a little bit in the knee injury. Nevertheless, it could be natural grass that you're playing on and have to deal with that scenario, because some of those are not like being at a golf course, that's for sure. And as a soccer player, you have to understand that. Whatever the case may be, they're playing outdoors. That's why the advantage comes to play for those who play sports indoors. One 0, the Eagles of Olympian enjoying the lead. And now they really have an opportunity here. And first offsides of the match, it goes against Olympian. And I was going to say they have the advantage because Maddie Mayo, don't know how much keeper she has played. Obviously, she's played some of it. At least we haven't seen her. We didn't see her last year. Haven't seen her this year up to this point, so we're going to find out. Probably played for a club team at one point in her soccer career. As this ball is out of play. Bree Cooney, the newcomer to the varsity team this year for Grossmont, throws it in. Jennifer Giovingo couldn't control it. Sykes. Lopez. And coming off her line is Maddie Mayo. One thing you do know is Maddie Mayo has speed if you've been following the Foothillers, so she can get to balls. And Carter Kennedy now trying to control it. It's taken away. Sent upfield for Victoria Ford to try and defend. Does so with Cooney. Mia Foster and a good first touch. Trying to send it out wide. That would have been for Dees. Alexa Gonzalez. Taylor Aguilera. Kylie Dees now. So one of the things that the Foothillers had to deal with last season is injuries towards the end of the season. And already it's starting to rear its ugly head again. In that semifinal match against Rancho Bernardo, 4 players were not available. And they were key players at that. But you play who you got and try and see if you can get a victory. And Rancho Bernardo surely had some injuries as well. They weren't 100% healthy, and they did what they needed to do to get to the final. Another shot. Throwing from the far side touchline here in the first half of action. I'm Greg K. Porter. Pablo Espinal on the camera, bringing you the sights and sounds. Handling the streaming. 50-50 ball off of Mia Foster, the back of her head. Giovingo. In the non-league play, you look at the standings, and here's a good pass. Up forward, Mayo, and it is put into the back of the net for the goal. 2-0. So 2-0, the Eagles leading now. Mia Foster trying to continue on. Stop there and draws it back out. The D's, but she was out of play. Pass that far side touchline. So 4 shots on target, and 2 of them have been in the back of the net for the Eagles. .50-50 ball, and trying to get it is Kylie Dees, and it is going to be a throw-in for Olympian High School in their own defensive half, enjoying the 2-0 lead. Aguilera, and then he goes out of play. It'll be a throw-in now by Aguilera. Kylie Dees chasing it down. Here's Lopez. Cuts it inside now. Leaves it for Foster, who takes a blast and just missed. Foster can be dangerous from that distance. Saw her do it against Granite Hills last year. Surprised him with a shot on the upper corner distance. Helped him win that match. Drawing it back is McNeil. Up forward. Aguilera. Her pass intercepted. Jennifer Giovingo onto the soccer ball. Giovingo stops and starts, continues on. And that ball is out of play. It'll be a throw-in now for Olympian. Olympian out of their defensive third, off of a bounce. In his central, nice controlling it there was Launer. They work it up forward to the speedster, Akins, and she just couldn't quite get to it. It had too much pace on it. So Aguilera sends it out of play. In this 2-0 match out here in the South Bay. Nightfall is upon us now. Shot from distance, and Maddie Mayo just watches that one go by her near post. That is the 5th shot of the match for Olympian. So Maddie Mayo, the backup keeper tonight, gets it going. Off of Foster's cleat. Now Olympian, they had it momentarily. They gave it away to Victoria Ford. To Lopez. Nice controlling the soccer ball. The freshman sends it over to Foster on an early ball to Carly Kennedy, but just a little bit too much on that one. She just had too much on that soccer ball for Kennedy to run onto it. A little bit less, and Kennedy has a great chance. 1v1 with the keeper. Giovingo fell down. And onside now. This is peril now. Here's Sykes now. Sykes 1v1. Sykes makes a great move and a goal! Go, 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 go! 3-0. Olympian High School leading. Beautiful play by Sykes. As she got that ball and knew she was on sides and able to match up 1v1 with a backup keeper, and not much of a chance that time. On the sixth shot for Olympian in the match. They're fifth on target. And now if you're the Foothillers, you really got a lot of work to do. Down by 3, and it's still in the first half. A lot of time left in this match. That is about the only good thing if you were the Foothillers. But it can be looked at as well for the Eagles. A lot of time still to add more goals into the back of the net on their home field. Kaylee Lopez. And really, the Foothiller defense is going to be pressed into trying to find a way to stop the strikers from getting free, maybe not play as loosely, and that is going to be the problem here. If you're the Foothillers, because you still got to try to find a way to score some goals, so mainly working more on trying to get that ball to Lopez and yet play defense. Let's say by Mayo. In his 3-0 affair. Throw in for the Foothillers of Grossmont High. Lopez. Can't get it to Gonzalez. It's intercepted and sent up forward now for McNeil. Into the central, Olympian. Reed Cooney on the intercept. They get it back. Lexa Gonzalez tracks it down, sends it out of play. In the central, Olympian. That's Giovingo winning it to Gonzalez to Lopez. Sarah Lopez now from the left flank. Gets a nice ball to Kennedy, but it goes off of Madera on the intercept. But here's Mia Foster. Beautiful first touch to Jennifer Giovingo from distance. And no problem. Nevertheless, the Foothillers getting another shot. Foster now. Lopez. Dees. Off of the carom. Winning it is the Eagles' Akins. Getting it to her teammate. That's McNeil. Intercepted Foster now. Too much for Kylie Dees. Get to it. Back up to midfield. Here's Foster. Dropping it back. Aguilera. Taylor's pass is intercepted, has to go back and retrieve it. Nearly a handball, and it's out of play. Throw in, though, for the team in white. The visitors, Grossmont Foothillers. Intercepted. Akins helping to probe the attack for the Eagles. Cooney on a 50-50 ball dispossessed. That's Lopez. And it goes out of play, and who's it off of? It's off the Foothillers, so the Eagles are going to throw it in. Cisneros throwing it in, and then now it caroms all the way back to Cooney, who sends it up to Central. Lopez now wins it. Lopez doesn't mind having somebody on her shoulder. Sarah Lopez now, who controls the soccer ball really well. Lopez still on it now. The freshman now, weaving her way, takes a shot and it's blocked. Over to Dees. Dees now drops it back. Aguilera tries to chip it for Lopez. It was a little bit too far. Lexa Gonzalez cheats back to Cooney. Missed Giovingo. 3-0. The team in black leading. The Olympian Eagles over the Grossmont Foothillers sent out of play in its non-league affair. Madeira driving it out. He's trying to protect in that space. Still in the first half, even though it's 3-0. Coming down to, on the clock here, about 13 and a half left to play in the first half. The ball is out of play. There was a foul on the play, so this is a free kick for Grossmont. Third foul of the match for Olympian. Just as many goals as they have. Carly Kennedy taking the free kick for Grossmont. The header by Mia Foster is a good one, right on target, but the save made. Nice job done that time by Bertiz. Eye that one right into her hands. Keeper for the Eagles. Ball out of play on the near side. In the attacking third for Olympian. But they're going to get a fresh player into the match. It's Jessica Monroy is coming into the match. Here's the throw in. Foothillers. Intercepted by Ford. Sarah Lopez getting it to Dees, and that ball is out of play. Toila Pion is into the match. She's number 17 out there in white for Grossmont. In the central, Lopez can't link up with Giovinco. And now the Foothillers have a problem. This is Sykes, but taken away. Victoria Ford marking up. Goes over to Ford. Cervantes. Amy Cervantes, pass, intercepted. She was looking for D's. Goes out of play. Knocked down again by the Eagles. A throw in for Grossmont. Just inside, 10 minutes left to play in the first half. The Eagles of Olympian enjoying the big lead, 3-0, on their home turf. For head coach Aaron Rossi in his 11th year. Assistant coaches Lorenzo Miranda, Daniel Areola, Hector Diaz. Fernando Ramos and Nick Ager for Grossmont High School. Fernando being the head coach. Trying to find a way for his squad to not lose to the Eagles for the second year in a row. Right now, they got a huge uphill climb they have to make, down 3-0. But he wanted Olympian back on the non-league schedule, and he has them again. Who knows, maybe next year he may say, you got to come to my house and play me. Because both times they've been on the road. But we'll see. Bending ball, trying to get that header and be brought down, but they weren't able to get it, the Foothillers. Goes this another shot, but it's Aaron. So 6 shots for the Foothillers on the match. Total of 7 for Olympian. The key of it is Olympian has 3 goals in the back of the net. Vertes, the keeper. Intercepted by Kennedy momentarily. Eagles get it back. Down the left flank, but they can't keep it going. So the Foothillers will throw it in. Foster in some space. Nobody there. Trying to get to it was Pion. There was a foul on the play, and so it'll be a free kick for Grossmont. Their 4th of the match. That is the 5th foul for, check that, that's now 5 free kicks for Grossmont. 5 fouls now for Olympian. Victoria Ford, this is the type of free kick that you want that's close in. You do a lot of things with it. Look at those stats of free kicks. They really don't mean anything unless you get them in the attacking third. You know what I'm saying? See what Victoria Ford does with this one. The grass cutter and gets Lopez. He just missed the near post. The freshman almost got another goal to keep the 1 goal a game streak going. Eagles giving away. Giovinco from distance, no problem there. The keeper Vertes. Down the left flank for Olympian, trying to get a player to run onto it. Now would have been Jessica Monroy, but That didn't happen as Ford cut her off. Victoria off of Mia Foster's header forward. Into space, but not able to get D's to run onto it. Five minutes, getting close to 5 minutes left to go in the first half, unofficially, according to the scoreboard. Center ref has the time, but of course they don't have center refs in C.I.F. in San Diego County. They just have the tandem ref. So the head tandem ref has the official time. Bree Cooney. Intercepted and back the other way. The Eagles trying to get that one to Sykes, who's already scored a goal in this match. D's against Akins, and it is out of play. And Akins sent it out of play. So the throw-in by D's, but nobody is there. She was looking for Pion, but she wasn't able to get to that. When she threw it in, it had a lot of velocity on it. Straight down to the ground. Eagles working out of their own defensive third. They give it away to Mia Foster now. Aguilera. Akins getting up high. Pion, her pass intercepted. Turning there is Monroy. Intercepted by Victoria Ford. And Ford sends an early ball looking for Lopez. Sarah Lopez now. Dribbling, and then it goes off to D's. And it's going to be a foul. So the free kick now. And officially, that's the first foul of the match for the Foothillers. First free kick. Akins. Intercepted by Giovingo. Pion can't get it. It's taken away from her. Nice play there in the space. Madeira. Lopez on her back and sends it out of play. Maybe that pressure by Lopez might have played a little part into that. Kind of speeded up the process. Bree Cooney, the near side. Foster places it down nicely for Giovingo, but Giovingo was shielded off and couldn't really get a good, strong shot that time. Ortiz. Cooney. Carly Kennedy. Nice controlling the soccer ball. Good first touch now. Kennedy's met with resistance in the central, and it's a giveaway to the Eagles. But not having a good first touch that time with Jessica Monroy. So it's a throw-in from the far side touchline for the Foothillers, where this half looks like it's going to expire with them down 3-0. Unless they catch some lightning here with little time left and put one in the back of the net or more. Not likely to happen, though, the way this game has been played so far. And the throw in now by Maya Sykes. Sykes is going to come out of the match. A little vitriol going on between her and Aguilera. Erica Aviles is into the match, and also Vanessa Guthrie is into the match. Guthrie is 24. Aviles is 6. In his space to try to do something in the attacking third. The Eagles. And coming out with it is Giovingo. Jennifer Giovingo now cuts it inside. Lopez. On the near side, Sarah Lopez now, still on the soccer ball. Threads a pass for her teammate, and Giovingo on her cleat. Just turns and takes the shot, but no problem for Vertiz. A little bit stronger, maybe pulling it a little bit more and maybe creating a problem, but not that time. So Ford is going to see what she can do up front. And we saw what she can do up front last season, but gave it away right now. Bree Cooney. Just put it in some space, but nobody was able to get to it. And an early ball. Aguilera chases it down, sends it all the way to Maddie Mayo, who drives it all the way to midfield. And that is the end of the first half. From Olympian High School with the score. The Eagles of Olympian High School, the home team, leading 3-0 against the Foothillers of Grossmont. Trying to add the third loss of the season for Grossmont and get them closer to an even scenario for 2018-2019. We'll see if they are able to do that, or if the Foothillers are able to come back and either get a tie or a win. Stick with us. We'll be right back. Lose their balance, and it'll be a foul. First foul of the match. And the first free kick for either team. Here's Lopez again now. Going to take it from distance, and no problem. She can be very dangerous. Scored a goal against Rancho Bernardo. Into the central now, and a shot that just missed by Carly Kennedy. The header into the space. Danger time now for the Foothillers, and the keeper is collided with. Here's a shot or a pass, and it's a put into the back of the net. No goal! Go, 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 go. In the non-league play, you look at the standings, and here's a good pass. Up forward, Mayo, and it is put into the back of the net. Grossmont. The header by Mia Foster is a good one, right on target. Bending ball, trying to get that header and be brought down. Does with this one. The grass cutter, and gets Lopez. He just missed the near post. On the near side, Sarah Lopez now, still on the soccer ball. Threads a pass for her teammate, and Giovingo on her cleat. Just turns and takes the shot. That's all.
We're on did they pick so close to the border?
You didn't pick up on that.
No, I haven't put the audio.
Okay.
I'm going to do it right now.
Okay. It might be interrupting it or something.
The audio. They ain't knocked yet. All right, we're live.
Shift colors for all you sailors out there are about ready to. Going from left to right is the Foothillers in white, and in the black with the gold numbers is the home team of the Olympian Eagles. Going from right to left. Let's get the stats in the first half. No goals for Grossmont, 3 for Olympian. 9 shots for Grossmont, 7 for Olympian. There was 5 on target for Grossmont, 6 for Olympian. 5 free kicks for Grossmont, 2 for Olympian. No corner kicks for either team. 5 fouls for Olympian and 1 for Grossmont. 6 saves for Grossmont keepers and 5 for Vertiz. Elena Vertiz. Shift colors for all you sailors out there, past and present. We're underway here in the second half. 3-0, as I just mentioned, and finally we got the stream going back. Had a little bit of a problem there for the first half, so we're sorry about that. 2 goals scored by number 3, Maya Sykes, for Olympian, and 1 goal scored by Kaylee Lopez, number 9, and also add an assist on that for Lopez. Mia Foster puts it in some space, but it's intercepted by the back line. A little bit of a collision. Center ref says, or I should say one of the tandem refs says to play on. So used to that. Intercepted in the central by the Eagles. If you're the Foothillers, you really got a lot of work to do. And this one right here is danger. Can you get back to it? Gonzalez does. You really can't afford to give up any more goals here to try to get a level match. But you've got a lot of work just to do that. And Lopez has that on her mind now. Lopez trying to get around Akins. Lopez trying to get another strike. She does! And it is intercepted, a shot. And sent all the way upfield. Sarah Lopez, the freshman, just dazzling people so far in a short season. Really good with that soccer ball. Here's Mia Foster, who's good with the soccer ball as well. Takes a shot, and this one is saved by Vertiz. So Elena Vertiz takes a couple of bounces and will drive it up the central. Monroy. Aguilera. Off the header by Cervantes, but it's a giveaway. And now they're going to have to retreat back and offsides. Second offsides in the match for Olympian. First one here in the second half. So the free kick for the Foothillers. Be their 6th of the match. Victoria Ford is lining it up. Obviously for the Foothillers, the key is to find a way to get that ball to number 1. And intercepted by Akins. Nicely done as it was trying to go towards Lopez. That last sequence a couple minutes ago. An outstanding job done by the Eagles because Lopez had designs of putting it in the back of the net. Giovingo having trouble. She's marked heavily there. Running onto it just for a moment that time was Montserrat Herrera. Fine JV player from last season for the Foothillers. Up here with the big club. And that's what you do when you're on the JV. You work hard. And before your years are out in high school, you'll be on a varsity club. Victoria Ford, a beautiful throw-in. Couldn't get her teammate now. There's a collision in the central now. That's Foster looking for it. And gets it out to Lopez. And Gonzalez hits that ball on the near side, but nobody's going to be able to run onto it. So it'll be a throw-in for the Eagles of Olympian High School playing here on their home turf. Enjoying a huge lead here in the first half that they got there in the first half and here in the second half, the early part of the second half. Intercept by Monroy, but then getting it back are the Foothillers. Aguilera, after it was tapped out by the Eagles, throwing it in, but a little indecision as to by the tandem refs who has the soccer ball, and it's going to be Team in black, the Eagles, the home team, will throw it in. Nice control that time by Erica Aviles. Down the central. And no problem here for Bertiz. Alina, after a couple of bounces, drives it towards midfield. Victoria Ford goes back to track it down. Aguilera. Pass intercepted, nobody there in the space. However, Johnny on the spot is Mia Foster. Early ball. Bertiz gets to it first. Gonzalez. Alexa throws it in. Sarah Lopez goes down to central, met with resistance, and it comes to the near side. For Akins, her and her teammates are going to get it going. And they get it over to Monroy. Jessica Monroy down the near side, splits it around, and finds her teammate down in the central. This is danger, and just missed. Vanessa Guthrie just missed the far post in adding the fourth goal onto the tally of goals tonight. But a good pass by Jessica Monroy and a good run on the near side. Just could not get her teammate to finish. And she would have had an assist. The throw in from the defensive third. Grossmont down their left flank. And it is out of play. Never got it, actually. Brie Cooney throws it in. Jennifer Giovingo cuts it inside. Looking for Herrera. She never got it. Sent out quickly. Brie Cooney tracking it down, and will throw it in. In this 3-0 affair, I'm Greg K. Porter along with Pablo Espinal, bringing you the live stream and the camera work. In the defensive third for the Eagles to throw it in. These December days make you think it's deeper in the night, but it's still rather early. But it just gets darker much quicker, and we've just about got to the extent of that, and then it will go back the other way. Day by day, get more and more light. (50-50), and then Victoria Ford finds it. Sends it over to Foster. Quickly gets it out to her teammate. Back up the field are the Eagles. Cardi Kennedy tracks back to it and then gives up a shot, but a foul will occur. Mia Foster chases it down. At midfield, that early ball, but too much for anybody to run onto it. Particularly Herrera in the space. Vertiz will drive it. The Eagles keeper. Nicely running onto it was Aviles. She was 6 out there in black. Up forward for Guthrie, but she won't get to it. Ball out of play. And every time it goes out of play, it's working for the home team, the Eagles, because it's a running clock. Opposed to other sports where clock stops. Not in soccer. Keeps running. That's why I think it is probably the best, if not the best sport to watch on TV, because you know exactly how long it's going to last. A lot of that is due to the fact that the sponsors are not interrupting it. And it just keeps going. They pack the sponsors at halftime before the match. Midfield for the Eagles, and that is number 4, Akins. And then now into the central for Ford. Gets it upfield, Cervantes. Herrera chases it down. Let's send it by Giovingo. Not able to get to it. The Foothillers must, to have any kind of chance in an offsides call here against Olympian. Second one of the second half. Akins, pass, and then now running onto it is Cervantes. Cuts it towards Giovingo. She never got it. Forward, but nobody's there in the space. Maddie Mayo. Watch it go over to her. Near side for the Eagles. Monroy tried to get a handle on it, could not. Aguilera. It's out of play. Substitution is going to occur for the Foothillers. Coach Fernando Ramos wants to get a fresh player in. And that's Alexa Gonzalez is coming out of the match. And wholesale substitutions are going to occur for Coach Aaron Rossi. And we'll mention those players as they touch that soccer ball out of there on the pitch. From the world's most famous sport, the ball with geometric designs. Football! In most countries, soccer in this one. Down the central, and this ball will go out of play. Had some good football over the weekend in the pro style. Got bowl games coming up. The San Diego State Aztecs be playing on Wednesday in a bowl game from down here in San Diego. And a bowl season begins, leading all the way up to the FBS championship. Of course, some of the other championships have already occurred, Division III, Division II. FCS. And if not, they're already down to semifinals and that. But you can check all of that stuff out. All you have to do is go to our one-stop shop page, and that is mrgksports.webs.com. And there you can get our Instagram. We had the pregame warm-ups on the Instagram page today, as well as you can follow us on Twitter. You want to like us on Facebook with the pro sports updates and college and youth. It's all there on that first page. Be able to follow all our digital content. And, of course, you want to subscribe to GK Sports, all in capital letters. Just throw it in the search of YouTube and subscribe. Bertiz. Intercepted by Foster, and it's out of play. 3-0, a very, very comfortable lead by the home team, the Eagles. And the Foothillers being shut out for the first time this season so far. And if it holds up, it'll be another unflattering development after being undefeated in their first 4 games. Fact, and a shot, and tracking back. And one of the defenders being able to make the play, and that's Bree Cooney. Actually, that was Herrera getting back there and making the nice play. And it's sent out of play. Akins will throw it in now for the Olympian Eagles in the space of 50-50 ball. It comes out. McNeil into the central. Sent to the wide side of the field by Cassidy Funk. Off of a carom, and Matty Mayo is able to make the save. The Eagles toward the central, able to win that soccer ball and track Victoria forward all the way back.
Hi, how are you? How you doing? Good, how are you? Good. You good?
Here's Sarah Lopez now. Lopez trying to get a return pass, doesn't get it. Instead, Akins for the Eagles will send it up midfield. Foul on the play. Free kick for Grossmont. Down to central, and Bertiz is able to make the save. 3-0 the score. The Eagles coming on 22 minutes left to play in a match. Unofficially, the tandem refs have the official time on the field. Here's Victoria Ford knifing in, showing her physicality to Foster, who's another physical player if need be. And that ball goes out of play. Foothillers still missing Kira Smingy. Marissa Angarola is not playing in this match so far. And we've seen her play already a lot in the first 2 matches. In the central now, Lopez runs onto it. Lopez! And puts it in the back of the net. A goal! Go, 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 go! The freshman scores and strikes again, and it is now 3-1. That being on the 12th shot for the Grossmont Foothillers in this match. The 8th on target. Cleaning up the garbage that time was Lopez. And the finish. It's one thing to clean it up, to have that ball in some space, but can you finish? And Lopez has shown so far in this early part of the season in the non-league schedule that she can finish. New to the school, first year. but she's an ODP player from her early years of playing soccer. Bodes well for the Foothillers after losing the great Amber Huff, all C.I.F player, playing now for the college contingent over in Irvine, University of California at Irvine. Mia Foster trying to get it together on the passing action, and finally they do with Cervantes and Carly Kennedy now up forward, but could not link up that time. Herrera. Toila Payan on the near side. Two players from the JV team. Here's Payan on the intercept now. Trying to get it to Lopez now. Shot and a goal! Go, 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 goal! Mia Foster says, I don't want my team to only have one goal tonight. Why not another one? And puts it into the back of the net. Meaning that they only had one goal against Steel Canyon if you've been following us. And now they got two. And now it is a match. 3-2. As the Foothillers has scored two in quick fashion here in the second half. Victoria Ford puts it out of play, and Victoria Ford knows all about, as she was on this team last year, finding a way to come back and get a victory. And Mia Foster was one of those players along with her that did that. And did it against Granite Hills. They both teamed up to stun Granite Hills in games. Off of Karam, Vertiz. Granite Hills is having a pretty good season so far. I think they got 5 victories already. Intercepted by Ford. 3-2 match. Toila Payan. Obviously, in the non-league schedule, you're still finding out things about your team. You want to be ready for the league play. Mia Foster tried to get it, could not. Good hustle there in the central by Kaylee Lopez. Eagles now somehow lulled themselves into a sleep, and Lopez got them started, the Foothillers, and then Mia Foster struck, who can do it from distance into the top side of the net. And now we have a Olympian Eagles player down. They've already had a player that was injured earlier in the match. Of course, the Foothillers lost their keeper in the first half in Ashlyn Dean. That's why you see Maddie Mayo playing keeper. If you just checked in, or obviously we didn't have the stream going in the first half, so you're just finding that out. Mayo hasn't had to do too much here in the second half. And obviously if you're the Eagles with Aaron Rossi's thinking we've got to apply more pressure on her here in the second half. Remember, they nearly had that fourth goal, and the ball just missed the far post early on here in the second half. And the score would be 4-2 rather than 3-2. Stats so far in the game, you've got a total of 12 shots for Grossmont. You've got 8 on target. 8 free kicks, no corner kicks, 1 foul, and a total of 9 saves for Maddie Mayo and Ashlyn Dean. I believe that's Kaylee Lopez coming out of the match, and That really is not good. Can't put any weight on her foot. And it is. So the junior doesn't look like she's going to be able to continue in this match. And that is going to affect the Eagles and what they're trying to do. She's been very instrumental in the things they've been trying to do in this match in the first half and here into the second half. Here's Mia Foster, the number 9 for the Foothillers, and it's Lopez now. Lopez on the move. Lopez got some space. Lopez still trying to stay with the soccer ball, is knocked down, and let's see what the call is going to be.
Good job, Max.
No call. So that is not uncommon, though, in the tandem ref scenario in this county, that they will miss some calls. Of course, in their defense, we are trying our best, but not felt that way by some of the coaches, some of the players as well throughout the county. That ball goes out of play. And the throw in for the Foothillers. And a collision. And let's see. Is it going to be a foul against the Foothillers? As Akins, is that Akins? Might be Akins that was knocked down. She gets up, and that's the best part. Looks like she's going to stay in a match, a collision. And that foul was against Akins. And so it's a free kick for the Foothillers. They get their 4th free kick now of the second half. The 9th foul of the Eagles, and this one is on net, and it just missed the far post. The Foothillers almost got the equalizer with 13 minutes left to play in the match, but almost only works in horseshoes, not in this game. Eagles still with a lead. You can protect the 1-goal lead in soccer, but you got to play well. Giovinco to Lopez, a goal! Go, 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 go! Sarah Lopez gets her 2nd goal of the match, and the super freshman is getting a name around the county. You have to mark her. Rancho Bernardo knew that, and they found a way to do it in the second half. And they were able to win the match because they were able to do it. The Steel Canyon Cougars were able to find a way to keep her from getting a 2nd goal. But not tonight. She gets her 2nd goal. And the Foothillers, more importantly, are draw level after being down 3-0. Maddie Mayo. And now, if you're Coach Fernando Ramos, you really wish you had your star keepers, either one of them, to play in a match. But you're going to have to work with Maddie Mayo to have a chance to win this match. So far, it's a level scenario. And that is outstanding in the sense where you were down 3-0. But now can she help you to win the match? And that is a whole nother ball game, or a backup keeper, the 3rd backup keeper in the match. Or from the team, not in the match. Backup keeper in this particular match. The 3rd person on the team that can play keeper. We didn't know that until tonight. Didn't see her play all of last season at all in keeper. But she's been pressed into duty tonight and now asked to try to get them a victory. Or at least make sure they don't lose. In the central now, the Eagles at Mayo makes a nice decision and quickly gets to the soccer ball. As the Eagles trying to preserve what they had established in the first half and come up with a victory. That's why I've said many times, if you've ever followed GK Sports, it can be a tale of two halves. Seen it many times in the world of soccer. Of course, you can say that with just about every sport, but soccer, big time, could be a tale of two halves. Lopez showing her speed. Lopez now still on the soccer ball. A collision, and the ball is out of play. And will it be a foul on Lopez? No, it will not. It'll be a throw-in. Akins was trying to stay with her and couldn't do it. Now Akins has it and sends it upfield. 3-3 match. Glad we got the live streaming going so at least you can see it the way it is right now as opposed to the way it was before, in the sense if you are a Grossmont High School Foothill follower, not if you're an Eagle follower, because you had the advantage big time and you were playing great, and it has changed around. Just missed Lopez, and that ball will go all the way down to Vertiz. Coach Fernando Ramos being heard from across the field. He is used to his teams putting goals into the back of the net. It's been the defensive side that has been to the consternation at times. And that's exactly what showed up in the first half. But putting it into the back of the net, since we've been filming them last year and now this year, we've seen they're able to do that. In fact, one game, they scored a total of 5 goals this season. And you know number one was involved in that heavily. Scored 2 goals tonight. That's Sarah Lopez. Mia Foster scored the other one for the Foothillers. 2 goals for Maya Sykes in the first half for the Eagles, a home team. Lopez scored 1 as well. Here's Sykes again now. Up front, Sykes wants to try to help her team win. She turns on a beautiful ball now. He puts it toward team out of the goal. Go, 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 go. Yawara McNeil puts it into the back of the net, and now the home team has the lead. It's 4-3. 11 shots on target by the Eagles. And they have scored 4 goals. Again, the defenders having a problem, and they've had a problem in this match. And now offensively, they're going to have to try to spring into action again, but they're running out of time. Just over 6.5 minutes left to go in the match. That could be the winning one, and I told you a few minutes ago was going to have to be the backup keeper to try to help them win the match, as opposed to the fact that they don't have their starting keeper able to protect and do what they need to do to try to keep it level. And now Aguilera is going to have to chase down Sykes. Sykes doesn't get the strike she wants to. It goes across the field, but it might wind on the cleat of her teammate, and it does, and that's Guthrie. Back up field. Guthrie now, the header, as they have numbers in the attacking third, and that's going to, is that in the area? No, it is not. I think it's just right outside the area, but nevertheless, this is danger for the Foothillers. They cannot afford to give up another goal. Remember, I told you a few minutes back that they almost scored, the Eagles almost scored a 4th one in the beginning of the second half. They finally got that 4th one. Or we're talking about a 5-3 score. Maya Sykes. Sykes, who already has 2 goals, a beautiful chip, but it's a little bit too high. Maya Sykes. Yawara McNeil's got 1 goal, and Kaylee Lopez for the home team, the Eagles of Olympian. 2 goals by Sarah Lopez, who's racing after the soccer ball now. And Mia Foster has 1. The 3 goals for the Foothillers.
Yeah, Lex. Yeah, Lex.
Madeira sends the ball out of play. Foothillers have to keep it in play. They got to take advantage of every second out there on the pitch, down by a goal. Sent out of play. After it's thrown in play, all the way up to Victoria Ford. And Ford, Giavingo wasn't able to control it. And now the foot race will ensue. But Victoria Ford gets back. Drives it upfield, but right to Akins. And Akins now will look for Sykes, and Sykes won't get it as it goes over to Maddie Mayo first. Nevertheless, for the Eagles, they get another shot. Up to central for Lopez. She can't control it. The header put in some space. Akins now trying to get it through a few people. She finally did. Herrera didn't get much of the soccer ball, and now it's going to be a foul against Herrera, and it's going to be a throw-in now. I should say a free kick for the Eagles. Looking for Sykes off of Ford's cleat and has to get back and help out, or at least shepherd that ball back to Mayo. And Maddie off of a couple of Olympian players, and now Mia Foster trying to thread it through 2 of them. It was taken away, but then Carly Kennedy sends an early ball, but not able to get it to Lopez. Down to almost 2.5 minutes left to go in the match. 4-3, Olympian leading at home, trying to beat the Foothillers for the 2nd year in a row in a non-league part of the schedule. They are in 2 different divisions, so they won't play each other anymore this season. And a foul is going to go against the Eagles, and it's a free kick for the Foothillers. Total of 10 fouls for Olympian in the match. And this is the 10th free kick.
Hey, let's finish strong, Eagles.
Victoria Ford trying to get as much onto that soccer ball as she could. It was intercepted by the Eagles, but they sent it out of play. And it'll be a throw-in now. Throw in now by Akins for the Eagles. Mia Foster trying to get to the soccer ball. You sealed it off, and now she'll be able to throw it in. Looking for Sarah Lopez, and she won't be able to get to it. It's a nice job done in space by the right side defender now. Driving it out of play for the Eagles. Home team having to defend, and that's what the Foothillers want. Dees comes out of the match.
Let's go.
Toila Payan is into the match now. Foster chasing the soccer ball down. Scored 1 of the goals. Gets it over to Giavingo, twisting and turning. After Foster fell down, and it whizzes by her, but Ford is able to keep it from going upfield. Bricuni now, a service, and it goes behind frame, and that doesn't work out for the Foothillers. They need to keep control of the soccer ball. in the pitch. Down by 1 goal. The home team going to milk as much time as they can and win it after giving up 3 goals to the Foothillers to tie it up here in the second half. The near side, but intercepted by Aguilera. Lopez now with the soccer ball. Sarah Lopez now sends it to the central. Trying to get another strike onto it. Can't do it. They give it away. Winning it, but just sending it in some space where nobody's going to be able to get to it. That was Herrera.
Hey, let's go. Finish strong.
Vertiz going to take all the allotted time she can. The near side, it goes out of play. Herrera throws it in. Wants to get it to the central for Lopez. Foothillers will throw it in. Carter Kennedy has it. Drives it off of one of the Eagles players. The ball is going to be out of play. And down is Yawara McNeil. McNeil scored one of the goals in this match. McNeil scored one of the goals, being right now the winning goal in this match. Tandem refs may add an extra bit of time as McNeil trying to gather herself. Took that one probably in the bread basket. Trying to get her air. Never feels good when that any kind of ball or object ends up in that area. And McNeil comes out of the action. Jessica Monroy comes into the action. Aguilera throws it in. Was looking for Foster. Payan knifes in, but can't control it yet. To the near side, tries to keep it in.
Simple.
And the foul is going to occur against the Foothillers. Haven't really fouled that much in this match. Or at least it actually being called a foul.
We're good, thanks.
Every time it goes out, that available time after the injury just goes off the clock.
It's on them right now.
And the Eagles know exactly why they're making sure that that happens. Don't want the ball in the center of the field at all. So they're going to continue to make sure that it goes out of play. Foster has it, controls it, sends it down for Lopez, tries the knife into the central, but instead got Giovingo there. Giovingo tries to get it to her teammate. Can't get it there. Herrera, Payan now. Giovingo, it caroms over to Lopez. Can she run it down? It might go out of play. But it was off of the Eagles players, so now the corner kick, they do a short kick now to try to keep possession. And the foul is going to work against the Eagles, and it's a free kick for the Foothillers.
Mark up. Get him in. It's like 5 minutes or 2 minutes. Let's go.
Maybe the last chance for Grossmont. Down 4-3. The bending ball trying to get a header. They do get one, but it's one where Victoria Ford couldn't get it the way she did against Granite Hills last season. Brought it down, but not well enough. You can either bring the header down or you can get it on a line drive. And last year, if you followed us, you got it on a line drive. And that one was the one that was big, but not able to do the same thing tonight But her team coming back, scoring 3 goals in the second half to make it an interesting match. But when you don't have your best keeper, it may not have mattered at all for the Eagles. But nevertheless, they end up falling 4-3. And anytime you give up 3 goals in a match, that's always perilsome. We apologize for not being able to. We had some sort of electrical problem here at Olympian High School, and don't know if it was our equipment or just something else, and not able to show you the first half. But if you watch a digital redo, you can see the entire match, and I encourage you to do that. Let's get the stats of the game. A total of 13 shots for the Grossmont Foothillers, and a total of 12 for Olympian. You know the goals, 4-3 Olympian. A total of shots on target of 8 for the Foothillers and 12 for Olympian. You had a total of 11 free kicks for Grossmont, and the free kicks were only a total of 3 for Olympian. No corner kicks in the match for Olympian, or actually there was 1 corner kick for both teams in the match, because you just got through seeing a corner kick for the Foothillers. A total of 3 fouls for Grossmont, and the big problem for Olympian is they had a lot of fouls in this match, which gave a lot of the free kicks to the Foothillers. Total of 9 saves for Grossmont, and a total of 7 for Olympian. So that's going to do it. Unofficial stats. Final score 4-3. The goals for Olympian, 2 by Maya Sykes, 1 by Yawara McNeil, and 1 by Kaya Lopez. Mia Foster had 1, and 2 goals scored by Sarah Lopez, the super freshman. I'm Greg K. Porter, along with Pablo Espinal. Always check us out on our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram pages. All you have to do is just go to mrgksports.webs.com. Again, that's mrgksports.webs.com. It's a one-stop shop on that opening page, and you can follow us and like us on all of our social media platforms. And, of course, you want to subscribe to GK Sports, all in capital letters, and you'll see our digital content around the county, especially for the Grossmont Foothillers, whoever they're playing in their entire season, and you'll be able to do that as well as youth soccer and maybe an adult game here and there. Again, I'm Greg K. Porter, along with Pablo Espinal, saying take care, God bless, and Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from Olympian High School, where we saw the final score. The home team, Olympian, winning 4-3 over the Grossmont Foothillers. Bye now. Here's Lopez again now. Going to take it from distance. Gets a possession. Lose their balance, and it'll be a foul. First foul of the match. Lopez makes the move. She can be very dangerous. Scored a goal against Rancho Bernardo. Into the central now, and a shot that just missed by Carly Kennedy. The header into the space. Danger time now for the Foothillers, and the keeper is collided with. Here's a shot or a pass, and it's a put into the back of the net. No goal! In the non-league play, you look at the standings, and here's a good pass. Up forward, Mayo, and it is put into the back of the net. Giovingo fell down. And on sides now, this is peril now. Here's Sykes now. Sykes 1v1. Sykes makes a great move and a goal! The header by Mia Foster is a good one, right on target. Bending ball, trying to get that header and be brought down. Does with this one. The grass cutter and gets Lopez. He just missed the near post. On the near side, Sarah Lopez now, still on the soccer ball. Threads a pass for her teammate and Giovingo on the near side. Sarah Lopez now, still on the soccer ball. Threads a pass for her teammate and Giovingo on her cleat. Just turns and takes the shot, but no problem for Vertiz. Really got a lot of work to do. And this one right here is danger. Can you get back to it? Gonzalez does. Jessica Monroy now on the near side, splits it around, and finds her teammate down in the central. This is danger, and just missed. 4 games. Fact, and a shot, and tracking back. And one of the defenders being able to make the play. In the central now, Lopez runs onto it. Lopez, and puts it in the back of the net. A goal! Go, 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 goal! 2 players from the JV team. Here's Pion on the intercept now. Trying to get it to Lopez now. Shot and a goal! And Mia Foster struck, who can do it from distance into the top side of the net. And now we have a Olympian Eagles player down. In the central now, the Eagles add Mayo, makes a nice decision. It quickly gets to the soccer ball. Sykes wants to try to help her team win. She turns on a beautiful ball now. He puts it to her team and a goal! Back up field. Guthrie now, the header. As they have numbers in the attacking third, and that's going to, is that in the area? No, it is not, I think. The bending ball trying to get a header. They do get one, but it's one where Victoria Ford couldn't get it the way she did against Granite Hills last season. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year from Olympian High School, where we saw the final score. The home team, Olympian, winning 4-3 over the Grossmont Foothillers. Bye now.